everybody, this is Katie Ray with Confetti Park, and I'm here with New Orleans children's author, Deborah Anderson. Tell us about the book, Deborah.
The title of the book is The Black Hair Alphabet, and the idea behind it was a conversation with some colleagues. I'm in animation, and so we talked about the representation of black hair in video game avatars. So the original project was to do realistic hair, but I thought of it again on February 1st, so I just decided to do a Black History Month daily project and use my current skill set. So I'm mostly a 3D artist who made a book.
Right on. Right. So I didn't say that what Deborah is primarily is she's an animator. She has a position at Loyola University, and she's a designer. I am intrigued by this idea that black hair did not have representation in video games.
Yes, and an article recently came out about how video games are doing better with black hair. I read the article, and they're doing better with the texturing of the hair and making it look realistic because black hair is more curly, not a fine, straight type of thing. So mostly, it was actually guys complaining. So they were complaining about how they either choose between an afro or dreads.
I've seen that.
Yeah. The article was making a point of how the afros they're doing now are less comic and more realistic.
I guess when I said I was intrigued by this idea, I think I more meant I was taken aback by the realization that black hair isn't represented well in video games.
Yeah.
And first of all, for people who don't know, can you explain what is an avatar?
So when you're on your Xbox or PS4, you are allowed to make an avatar for your system, and then when you go into a specific game, they let you make a representation of yourself. So this is the stage where you're picking your hair color, your eyes, your outfit, and all that type of stuff. So it's, for example, I really like Rock Band, and so it'll let me pick my hair, whether I'm like a grunge or like a more goth, and so they let you pick your clothes, but sometimes the hair, if you want to kind of represent your ethnicity, then you're picking between afro, which I do have an afro, a smaller one, or dreads. There's really not a myriad of hairstyles to pick from.
So you decided to blog about a different hairstyle for each day of the month, essentially?
Yeah, so last year I thought of the project, and I kind of went to Wikipedia to kind of look up different letters of the alphabet, because I can't just come from memory for that. And they're not exclusively black hairstyles, because, I mean, victory rolls is like more, if you think of the 1920s, I'm in the army now, like that's that kind of style of victory roll. So it's not exclusive, but I needed something for every letter. So.
Sure, and mohawk.
Yeah.
And ring curls.
Ringlets, yeah.
Ringlets.
That's kind of universal.
Yeah.
The Black Hair Alphabet by Deborah A. Anderson. A is for Afro. B is for Bantu Knot. C is for Conk.
So then when it came to illustrating the book, can you tell us what your process is?
I used a 3D program called Cinema 4D. I would first choose a font I thought would kind of illustrate the hairstyle that I was going to do on it. And then I would start to put, I had reference images for the hairstyle, so I try to figure out how to put hairstyle on the font. So sometimes I'll pick a font that I needed it to be a certain way. So for geometric cut for G, I purposely chose a font with a square top so I could kind of do that geometric cut easier. So a lot went into it, and it was a daily project, so I only had maybe 3 hours a day to do it because I did it when I got home.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then here you were with the material for a book.
Yeah, so I was like, after my friend told me about publishing on Amazon, I was like, well, I already have the images, and the text will be very simple because I'm just going to do an alphabet book. So I took one weekend to do it.
That's awesome. When it comes to children who read this book, do you think that this is something that many of them will see for the first time? Are there any books like this out there that you've encountered?
Well, when I go to like the reports and stuff for Amazon and it shows me my rankings, I'm like 200 in other categories. But as far as I think like hair books, I'm like number 11.
Right on.
So it's like some stuff is, because I actually did a search on Amazon for hair books, and 99 times out of 100 it's a storybook. It's not an alphabet book. So this is pretty much the only
really
alphabet book.
You found like a niche that no one.
I'm always trying to do stuff that no one else is doing.
Yeah,
so.
I think you did it.
And people keep giving me ideas. So someone has given me an idea for a coloring book, so I'm going to start working on that. Since I'm in 3D and I'm interested in virtual reality, I want to do like a virtual reality video where maybe they're following the characters around and they can kind of use their phone and turn around and do that type of stuff.
I love that in this time there's so much possibility.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do with your creative ideas and make them into reality.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us some of the projects that you've worked on that we might know?
Well, when I worked in 2010, I worked for a company called Digital Emation, which was in Seoul, South Korea, and I got the opportunity to do backgrounds, cars, and props for Family Guy, The Cleveland Show, Batman, The Brave and the Bold, and Scooby-Doo straight-to-DVD movies.
Did you enjoy that?
Yes. I mean, I worked 12-hour days. Like, in the animation industry for TV shows, a lot of times the creative work is done and the writing is done in California, but then the grunt work is done in Asian countries. So I worked 12-hour days and 6 days a week. And luckily I was young, so it was good. Like, it was my first break into the industry because I graduated from Rochester Institute of Technology in upstate New York in 2008. So I went to Korea originally as a English teacher, and I did that 2009 to 2010. And then I worked for an animation company 2010 to 2011, and then I came back home.
So you were there 2 years?
Yeah.
What an adventure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Working 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., you don't really have a time to appreciate the day. So there was one time where it was Tuesday and then it was Thursday. And I'm like, what happened to Wednesday?
Oh, my goodness.
So I was just like, I'm dying quicker.
Whoa. Intense schedule.
Yeah.
But, man, I guess that was really, like,
yeah, I would be sitting at my desk and I'm just like, this is it. I didn't waste 4 years of college. It was kind of my confirmation that I majored in the right thing.
Right. That's wonderful. And it must be so great to see your work playing on television.
Yeah. So my first day, I usually use a program called Autodesk Maya, and that's what I learned in college. But coming to that company, they used a program called Softimage XSI, which is kind of defunct now. It used to be a French company, and then Autodesk bought it, and then they kind of got rid of it. So he just taught me the little navigation points and then asked me to make something. So I found a jellyfish tutorial, and I made a jellyfish. And then he was like, okay, now make snow on houses for Family Guy. And so that was my first day. I was kind of thrown to the wolves. And so that was my first day. But the first thing that actually showed up on TV was like this spinning circular alien thing from Batman, the Brave and the Bold.
That's really cool.
So,
wow.
But yeah, the snow on the houses was actually from a popular episode called Road to the North Pole that came out in 2010. And it was also dubbed the Angry Elves episode. So Brian and Stewie go to Canada and all that type of stuff. So that's the first episode I ever worked on.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Deborah. Can you give us your website so people can visit and also buy your book?
My website is blackwomananimator.com. That's BLKWMN Animator, ANIMATOR.com. So Black Woman Animator.
Right. And we'll have links to Deborah's website on the Confetti Park website as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This podcast is brought to you by ConfettiPark.com.